Hi, I'm Maureen with Landis Properties, brokered by eXp Realty in Ashburn, Virginia, and I'm your source for all things real estate. I have 2 kids, I'm a former teacher, and now I practice and teach about real estate. Today we're going to be answering some real estate frequently asked questions. Question number 1, what is the difference between pre-approval and pre-qualification? Pre-qualification is a preliminary step to start looking into your qualification to be able to buy a home. But when you're buying a home, you need a pre-approval. That's the official paperwork from the lender that says this buyer is able to purchase this home. And one quick fact about that is that just because you're pre-approved for a certain amount doesn't necessarily mean you should go all the way up to that price. You will want to talk to your lender and your real estate agent and whoever else is advising you on what you want your monthly payment to be. It might be less than what you're actually pre-approved for. Number 2, kind of related, how do I determine my budget for buying a home? So related to number 1, you'll want a pre-approval, talk to a mortgage lender, consult with your real estate agent, but you really need to be comfortable with what your actual lifestyle costs before you buy a home. So it's recommended that for the months preceding purchasing a home, start living as if you were paying that monthly mortgage payment, especially if it's higher than what you're currently paying at your home or what you're currently paying in rent. Number 3, what should I look for when choosing a real estate agent? Number 1, you want to make sure that your real estate agent has a REALTOR designation. That means that not only have they passed the licensing exam to become a real estate agent in their state, they also are part of the National Association of Realtors, which means that they adhere to a higher code of ethics than just a standard real estate agent. After that, if you really click with someone and they're qualified, you can interview them and ask how do they work with you, what is the process like, and make sure that you're able to work really well with them and communicate with them. If there are any red flags or you just don't feel comfortable, I would recommend interviewing 1 or 2 other agents to see if there's a better fit for you, because they might be a perfectly fine real estate agent, but if you're not comfortable with them, it's a big process. It's a big purchase and investment or process, selling or buying your home. So you want to be really comfortable with the person that you choose. Number 4, what are closing costs and how much should I expect to pay? Closing costs are fees and expenses that are due at the time of closing on the purchase of your new home. Closing costs are going to include an appraisal fee, title insurance, any money if you've taken out another loan for a down payment and there's any money due at closing. The total amount is going to vary on your price point, your location, which loans you took out in your individual situation, but this should all be made very clear to you before you reach closing so that you can plan. And it is true that sometimes mistakes are made and you might owe more at closing than you anticipated. So just to be prepared, it's advisable to budget 2 to 5% of the total cost of the home that you're buying to make sure that you have enough to cover closing costs. Okay, number 5, should I rent or buy a home? This is a big one. In general, you'll hear that it's better to buy a home because then you'll be paying your own mortgage instead of your landlord's mortgage through renting. But it can really depend on your personal situation. The number 1 thing is that what you can afford financially is what's best for you in that particular situation. Because even though buying a home does give you equity, there are expenses that come with home ownership. So just be aware. When you're renting, your landlord is going to take care of any major repairs, lawn care, possibly utilities, cable and internet, depending on what your rent package is. So you really want to look at the numbers of both options before you decide. And then the other thing is, with market conditions, if your rent isn't too bad, maybe you want to wait until the interest rates fall to buy your first home, just as an example. Or if you know that you'll be moving within just a couple of years, then maybe you want to keep renting until you're going to be somewhere more stable. It has been a long time piece of wisdom that real estate is always a good investment. So as a realtor, I do definitely recommend investing in real estate at some point. All right, last one for today. Number 6, what does under contract mean? So sometimes when you'll be driving by and you'll see a for sale sign and it says under contract, or if you come to this situation, when you're under contract, it means that the seller and the buyer have agreed upon a price and terms for the purchase of the home. But the transaction is not closed, this stage under contract. The home still needs to undergo inspections, finalize everything if there's financing, before everything is completely final. So I hope these were helpful. If you have other real estate questions, please put them in the comments and I'll make another video addressing those in the future. And if you're in Northern Virginia, I'd love to be your realtor. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. See you next time.